Welcome to Notes Creator for Outlook. This presentation is aimed to explain what our product does and how you can create notes for Outlook contacts. With Notes Creator for Outlook, you can replace, insert, or append contact-generated data into the Contact Notes section in Outlook. You can apply these notes to one contact, all the contacts, or for filtered sets of contacts. Also, the generated notes can actually be generated from standard or user-defined Outlook fields. Each note generation is attached to a profile that you can save to the file so you can use it later. So what are the benefits from generating contact notes in Outlook? The main benefits from generating contact data in Outlook is to have all the data that you want on the contact notes section. This data that you generate can be inserted there or replaced, and it can be synced with smartphones. So if you have data or fields that are not syncing with smartphones, you put it into the contact notes section, and that data then gets synced with the smartphones. In addition, you can reference all the data from one screen without having to go to multiple screens or forms. So let's just look at how we do this. Here's an example of an Outlook contact. You can insert any fields that are on your screen into the Outlook contact notes section. Also, any user-defined fields that are part of Outlook, all these can be inserted and then transferred over to a cell phone. What this means is any fields that you have in Outlook can be transferred over to any smartphone that you have. Notes created for Outlook can replace the Outlook note with generated text. You can insert at the beginning of the Outlook note with generated text, or you can append the generated text to the end of the Outlook note. Additional features of this product: it's easy to set up and test. You can be up and running in less than 5 minutes. It provides an individual editing capability to edit one note of a contact. It provides templates of data generated, so you can actually use these templates later. And it provides contact filtering for you to filter which contacts you want to apply the generated note. The following demonstration, you will learn how to initially set up Notes Creator, how to create a template, how to create, preview, and apply these notes to Outlook contacts, how to replace, insert, or append a note, and particular techniques for Notes Creator where you can actually append or insert multiple times the same notes, generated notes, to existing contacts in Outlook. Welcome to our Notes Creator demonstration. As you can see, Notes Creator is divided into 4 primary sections. On the left panel, you can see it's the contact section, where it has all the contacts that are in your folder, including the browse button that will allow you to select the folder where the contacts are that you're going to manipulate. Now also you can see we have the build file, which is our template file, and our template we have the construct, and on the construct it shows what fields we're going to build. Then at the bottom, in the middle of the page, we have the options on how to create the notes. So you can have replace the notes, append to the beginning, or append to the end. And on this, you can look, here is the original note, and this is how it's going to be appended. So we're appending at the end of the note, we put a marker, and there's the note. And then on the right hand side, we have all the fields that exist for that particular folder. The fields that are bolded are our user-defined fields. So any user-defined fields that you see this way are user-defined properties that are existent on the Outlook contact folder. So if you click on, for example, if you have Chris Huffman, we have all the contacts which are fields, and they have been populated with data as well. Last but not least, we have the modification buttons, where you have update notes for the current contact, and that means we're gonna apply the notes update for the contact we actually selected. In this case, will be Chris Huffman. Or we can update the notes for all the contacts. We prefer to test it on a single contact, and then we do it for all the contacts. So to get started, you'll click on the Browse button. That gets Outlook started, and you can select a contacts folder. In this case, we just use our CH Group Sync folder. Select that, and it will analyze the contact folder, and it will look at all the user-defined fields, and it will show you what user-defined fields are. And then you can click on Contact, and you can see the values of these fields. So let's go on step 2 now and create a build construct. To do that, we select the fields that we want to build from. So let's just use one of these fields. Let's do user5, a user-defined field. And you will see that there'll be a user5 that's going to be the user-defined fields, and then there's a set of characters. This is basically carriage return line feed, and we provide the option of either just using carriage return or carriage line feed. You can also add tabs to the actual construct. The one important element on a construct in Notes Creator is that there's a lesser and a greater than characters. These characters delimit the application of the user field. What does this mean? In our case, user5, if it has a value, whatever is inside the less and greater than characters will actually instantiate. It will generate and display. If user5 does not have a value, then nothing that is inside those characters will display. Let's have a look. So let's add a couple of more fields. So let's add the full name. Let's add the full name field. So on the full name, so we have user5 and then the full name. So these will be generated into the note. So looking at the note, if we do a refresh, you'll have user5 field and Chris Huffman. So these will appear on here. So let's just go beyond that and then just go user5 must do, and that will be the user5 field, and we're just adding text in there. Then full name must do. So we just add these texts into it, and we do a refresh, and we find that this will instantiate into the created node. So what happens is if you go into a user that does not have that, if you click that, and you can see here that only full name must do, but the browser, since user5 does not have a value, you can see here user5 does not have a value, then only the full name field will actually display and generate. If you keep your data outside the brackets, the less and greater than brackets for the user field, so if you do anything like this, just put in some lines. Now if we do a refresh here, we need a carriage return line feed here. So if we do that, we now basically we can generate data that is dependent on whether there's values on the fields or not. If the value on the field is empty, the data that's inside the brackets is not generated. This concludes part 1 of our demonstration. Please go to the next video for part 2 for more instructions on how to use Notes Creator.